2 state-of-the-art trauma rooms, 2 multi-purpose isolation and decontamination rooms, and 12 state-of-the-art exam rooms. These are just some of the new features patients will see at GMH after the completion of a $7.5 million emergency department expansion project. A beaming Governor Eddie Calvo was the keynote speaker this morning for the groundbreaking ceremony. After many years of negative publicity for the island's only civilian hospital, the governor was evidently excited to announce that the project he had so fervently fought for was now coming to fruition.
Senator Frank was with me when I was a long time ago a Ways and Means chair, and where we passed the 2008 budget. And Frank was one of my biggest backers in getting, first of all, a balanced budget and the last surplus budget. I don't want to get too political here, but he also was there when we got this funding for the hospital, the $7.5 million. That's why I'm in a strange position right now, because very rarely do you have a situation where you have someone who's a senator that it starts, and then now in another position as a governor where we finally see the fruition.
Also on hand today were Health Oversight Chairman Senator Dennis Rodriguez and GMH Administrator Joseph Verga, who spoke publicly for the first time since stepping into his new job a few weeks ago.
I'm honored to have been chosen as the new CEO here, and very fortunate to have joined GMH at a really wonderful time in the history to help oversee the beginning of this project, and hopefully this is the beginning of many more wonderful things. Emergency departments are often the first gatekeeper to not only the hospital but to our entire health system. For those that either don't have physicians or do not have access to health care, this hospital never has and never will turn anyone away from the doors who show up at the emergency room for care. And this project will enable us to not only offer the best state-of-the-art care and the best environment we can, but it will enable us to render care in a much safer way.
I can assure the people, the staff, employees, the Guam Memorial Hospital, the people of Guam, that you would get the support from the Guam legislature. On behalf of my colleagues, we will make sure that what is needed to improve this hospital is there. We've demonstrated that during this term, this year and a half.
Both the emergency department and the CCU and ICU will be expanded to nearly 3 times their existing size. The emergency room will go from 5,400 to 15,000 square feet, and the CCU and ICU will expand from 2,500 to 7,800 square feet, and going from a 10-bed unit to a 15-bed unit. The extra space is expected to alleviate overcrowding issues in the ER and hopefully address the notoriously long wait times families have faced at GMH. On average, the ER processes 30,000 outpatient visits a year. DCK Pacific will oversee the construction of the units, and Taniguchi Ruth Macchio is the architectural firm that rendered the designs for the hospital. Verga says there will be a temporary CCU and ICU set up for patients during the construction phase. As for the emergency department, he notes that patients will not be affected by the construction.
The ER itself will not be affected, other than there'll be a temporary partition which will close off existing construction from the hospital, and before the walls will be broken to open up that construction. Basically, that new construction will be completed, so patients themselves will not feel any difference in care. So logistically, there's a plan in place to make sure that there's a kind of a seamless transition.